In this module, we would be studying about the shortest, the broadest, and the most curved rib of our body. Yes, you got it right. The first rib. Hello and welcome to the White Coat Classroom. In this module, we would be studying about the first rib. So, before starting this video, a gentle reminder, if you are new to this channel, please hit the subscribe button. Now, without wasting time, let's get started. Talking about the first rib is the shortest of all the ribs. Along with that, it is the broadest rib and it is the most curved rib. So, for the sake of comparison, here I have a typical rib. So, we can compare this typical rib with our first rib. On comparison, we can appreciate this is the shortest one. It is very short compared to a typical rib. The breadth or the width of the first rib is much large compared to a typical rib. Along with that, it is the most curved rib. Before learning about the features of first rib, let's learn the side determination. So, for the sake of side determination, we must determine the anterior end and the posterior end. Anterior end is wider, larger and thicker compared to the posterior end, while the posterior end bears this rounded part. This is the head part and this is the neck part. So this is the anterior, this is the posterior. The next thing is, for the sake of identification of superior and inferior, what we can appreciate is on superior surface, there are presence of grooves. So we have two shallow grooves on superior surface, and in between the two grooves, we have a ridge. And on the inner border, on this ridge, we have a tubercle. So this is a scalene tubercle, which is appreciated on the superior aspect. I'll be turning this one. We'll be appreciating the inferior aspect. So on the inferior aspect, we cannot appreciate any groove or any tubercle. So from this, we can appreciate the superior and the inferior aspect. While the outer border is convex and it lies laterally, while the inner border lies medially. So from this, we can identify the side, and we will be using this pictogram as a reference. So this first rib belongs to the right side. In the anatomical position, the anterior end and the posterior end lies in the same horizontal plane. So the anatomical position is like this. Now let's learn the features of first rib. We will be studying the features of first rib under the three headings: the anterior end, the shaft, and the posterior end. So let's start with the anterior end. The anterior end is a larger end, it's a wider end, and a thicker end. It articulates with the costal cartilage and eventually it connects with the sternum bone. While talking about the posterior end bears this rounded part. This is the head part. Next to the head part, we can appreciate this rounded part. This rounded part is the neck part. This neck part is directed laterally, upwards and backwards. The next thing which we can appreciate is presence of a tubercle. So this is a tubercle which is present on the posterior aspect, and this tubercle coincides with the angle of rib. So this is the angle of rib where the rib is turning, and at this angle we can appreciate this tubercle. Talking about the articulation of the posterior end, the posterior end articulates with the first thoracic vertebra. So here we have is the first thoracic vertebra and the first rib. So the head of first rib articulates with the body of first thoracic vertebra, while the tubercle articulates with the transverse process of the first thoracic vertebra. Now let's learn about the shaft. The shaft of first rib is flattened. So because of flattening, it has two surfaces, the superior surface and the inferior surface. So this is the superior surface and this is the inferior surface. Because of the flattening, it has two borders. This is the inner border and this is the outer border. So we have two borders and two surfaces. Now let's learn in detail about the surfaces. So talking about the upper surface has two grooves. So we have two grooves, and in between the two grooves we have ridge, and on inner side we have a tubercle. This tubercle is called a scalene tubercle. Talking about the lower surface is a smooth surface. We can appreciate it's a smooth surface, and there is absence of costal groove. The absence of costal groove is a peculiar feature of first rib. After the two surfaces, let's see the borders. This is the inner border and this is the outer border. The inner border is a concave border, while the outer border is a convex border. Now, let's learn the attachments on first rib, starting with the superior surface. On superior surface, we have four major muscular attachments. The first one is costocoracoid ligament. So there is insertion of costocoracoid ligament at the anterior end. So at the anterior end, we have insertion of a ligament which connects the first rib with the clavicle bone, that is costocoracoid ligament. The second one we have is an origin of muscle. That muscle is the subclavian muscle. Subclavian muscle arises from first rib and gets inserted on subclavian groove of the clavicle bone. The third we have is scalenus anterior muscle. So there is insertion of scalenus anterior muscle on the scalene tubercle. The fourth one which we have is insertion of scalenus medius muscle. So behind the second groove, we have insertion of scalenus medius muscle. These are the four attachments on superior surface. After the superior surface, let's see the attachment on inferior surface. The inferior surface is attached with the costal pleura. So it is in contact with the parietal layer of pleura and specifically the costal pleura. After the two surfaces, let's appreciate the borders. So an inner border, so this is the inner border. The inner border gives attachment to the suprapleural membrane. Now let's talk about the outer border. Outer border gives origin to external intercostal muscle. So there is presence of intercostal muscle between the two ribs. So there is origin of external intercostal muscle. The next one we have is the origin of serratus anterior muscle. So this is the second groove. This is the groove for subclavian artery. So just behind this, from this region, we have first digitation of serratus anterior muscle, while the posterior thick part gives attachment to the scalenus posterior muscle. Talking about the tubercle, as the tubercle articulates with the transverse process of first rib, there is attachment of a ligament that is called as costotransverse ligament. On tubercle, we have costotransverse ligament. With this, we have completed with the attachments. Let's learn the relations of the first rib. Specifically, we would be studying about the relations of the neck part and the relation of the two grooves. Let's start with the neck part. The neck part is related with the sympathetic chain. As we know, paravertebrally there runs the sympathetic chain. So the neck part is related with the sympathetic chain. Just beyond the sympathetic chain, we have three structures. First structure which we have is the posterior intercostal vein. Then we have is the superior intercostal artery. Then we have is the ventral ramus of the first thoracic nerve. So how we can remember is first the sympathetic chain and beyond the sympathetic chain with the mnemonic of VAN. V for vein, that is intercostal vein, A for artery and N for nerve. So these three structures, vein, artery and nerve, runs like this. Now let's see the relations on the superior surface. So superiorly, neck is related with the deep cervical fascia of neck. Along with that, the ramus of the 8th cervical nerve and the first thoracic. So like this we have is the ramus of the 8th cervical nerve and the first thoracic nerve. After the neck part, let's appreciate the relations of the two grooves. The anterior groove. In the anterior groove, there runs subclavian vein. While talking about the posterior groove, in the posterior groove, there is presence of subclavian artery, along with that, lower trunk of the brachial plexus. Lastly, talking about the ossification, the first rib arises from one primary center, which gives rise to the shaft part, and which is present for shaft part, and there are presence of two secondary centers, one for the head part and the other for the tubercle part. With this, we have completed with the anatomy of first rib. If you enjoyed the content, please hit the like button and share it with your friends. Thank you so much for watching.